is a protected energy, which means that there's a protected schedule. So when you bring the mystical back into the mundane, there's got to be a kind of schedule. So, every night, and the way I think is very easy for you to do it is always match it with something that you regularly do, like brush your teeth. Right before I go to bed, you always go to bed, right? I always go to bed. I sit by my altar and I pray with just little symbolic items to keep the energy, right? Because all of a sudden when you are in prayer, it creates a thread. Okay, I'm going to talk about prayer a little bit more, but it creates a thread. And the more you energetically put into that thread, then the thread starts to weave itself to where it needs to go. So there's got to be a schedule, right? Where your energy is protected in the sacred, right? And there's another place I do it. I go to the bathroom and I take a shower every day. And in the shower, it is a sacred cleanse, right? And after the shower, I put on music and there's a sacred dance, right? And I don't get out of the bathroom until I feel like I've transitioned, right? From that, oh my God, I need to do everything, to, okay, where my body is relaxed, the container of my body is relaxed, the mind is emptied, and the energy is expanded, and yet at the same time energetically protected. Like, ooh, okay, this is the internal world that I've created. So now I'm going to go outside into the world with this, right? So that's another thing that the retreat has taught us, is that our energy needs to be protected. So in the retreat, there is very specific schedule. There is very specific times. Now, in between, this is important, in between when you're practicing, there's got to be a level of integration. So our energy was also protected. So if we had this very, rich ceremonial ritual, we didn't necessarily just go right back out into the world. We made time to let the nervous system adjust, right? So in your mundane, this is the thing that I think I teach all of our clients who are taking their spiritual work and utilizing it and creating a business out of it. Creativity requires space. So I always talk about this, and I've been talking about this for a long time. The spiritual house must be clean first before the business house enters. So if you're all kind of like dysregulated and your nervous system is all stressed out and your body is all, and you're what you are taking in mentally and energetically is just all wonky, right? You can't dive back into your mundane with your kids or your business, because that's going to be what's kind of like vomited out, right? It's going to be the reaction versus the response. So, what was I saying? We have to continue to make sure that we're constantly giving ourselves space. This is what I was going to say. Giving ourselves space before we enter the mundane. So what I teach all our clients is like, my client, he was like, okay, so how many hours should I work on my business? How much time should I be online? And I said, well, first of all, your body, your mind, and your spirit need to be ready before you even touch your work, right? That is the spiritual practice. So if that means you need to go jump in a lake, go walk your dog, go whatever, dance around in your house, sage yourself, I don't know what it is that you do. We have to spend time in the spiritual house until we've transitioned and rested. And that sometimes literally just means go take a nap, right? Go take a nap before you touch your life's work. before you touch your life's work, go take a nap. So you see, the retreat, here I am in my mundane life, and oh my God, and then like my nervous system's starting to get all a whack because I'm going so high, and my momentum is kind of going too fast. Whoo! Like before the retreat, I was like, my nervous system was agitated, and I knew, ooh boy, I need to kind of sometimes you need to dive deep in the retreat, and then sometimes it's just your day to day. But I knew I need to kind of go into a different paradigm, because this nervous system is so agitated, even with my kind of everyday practices. Ooh, there's something here that kind of needs to kind of shift. So I dived into the retreat before I came back here in my day-to-day life with my family and my work. And so it's this permission giving of, sometimes when work feels like work, you need to take a break.